morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at all the secret rares which are going to be coming around in Dream League. Now, I've already shown you the character rares. There were 13 of them. Trying to cover all of those and the other secret rares in one video would really just be little more than a picture gallery, and it's not really what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. It kind of defeats the object, if I'm honest with you. So what we're going to do instead is, we've already done the character rares. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. Today, we are focusing on the secret rares, those being the GXs, Tag Team GXs, and the secret rare trainer cards. And just before we get going, huge shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia over at PokeGuardian.com for sharing these images around. So if we start off with Tag Team GXs, we see something a little bit strange. We are used with Tag Team GXs. Let's use Pikachu and Zekrom as an example. We're used to the regular rare, and then a full art, and a rainbow, which is pretty much the same as the full art. And then we're expecting an alternate art. A secret rare alternate art. That's not what we've got this time. So if we take a look at Reshiram and Zekrom, we've got the alternate art, which is a full art, and then a rainbow rare version of that. There is no full art rainbow rare alternate art. There is just a full art alternate art and a rainbow rare version of it, which I think is kind of cool. Incidentally, right, this artwork is amazing. And Reshiram and Zekrom is one you should be getting a little bit excited about. It is going to be one of the best decks in the format when it hits. You've got an attack here that for 1 fire, 1 lightning energy lets you discard up to 3 fire or lightning energy attached to your bench Pokemon, dealing 90 damage for each energy discarded in this way. And between things like Welder and Naga Nadal, and even using Pikachu and Zekrom's attack or Tapu Koko Prism Star's ability, we've got plenty of ways to accelerate those two kinds of energy. Expect this to be one of the best cards and the best decks moving forward. The GX attack for 2 fire, 2 colorless energy does 170 damage to one of your opponent's bench. But if you played End's Preparation this turn, it does 170 to a second. Remember, these are different in that they do extra if you've played a particular supporter, not if you've got a set amount of extra energy attached to them. Now, there is a second Tag Team GX in the set. It is Saga Leo and Lunala, and we've got this beautiful full art alternate art print. You'll notice that all of the full arts here, they are hand-drawn. They are not computer-generated, as so many of the old ones were, which is really kind of cool. And then, of course, we got a rainbow rare version of that exact artwork. This is not going to be as good, if I'm honest with you. I'm not expecting this card to see anywhere near the amount of traction as Reshiram and Zekrom does. It's still good, mind you. 4 energy, 230 damage is basically the same as Reshiram and Charizard, and that was pretty good. Although, to be fair, the loss of choice band is really going to hurt that deck. And all decks are hit 230. And then, of course, you've got Malamar to accelerate energy, which is kind of nice. GX attack, free energy 200, but if you play Lily's Resolve during this turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to all of your Pokemon next turn. It means that none of your Pokemon are taking any damage or anything else a subsequent turn. That's pretty good from where I'm sitting. Now, as well as the 2 Tag Team GXs, we also have 2 regular GXs, the most exciting of which is Silvally GX. Now, here is the alternate art full art, and here is the rainbow rare version of it. It is, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal. And this is a great card, which is going to see a huge amount of play. The ability is exactly the same as Octillery's ability from Breakthrough. Once during your turn, you may draw until you've got 5 cards in hand. It is the best Pokemon draw we've got as soon as it comes out. We've got other draws like we've got, for instance, Zebstrika. Discard your hand, draw 4 cards. We've got Pidgeotto. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one in your hand and one on the bottom of your deck. But make no mistake about it, neither of those are anywhere near as good as Silvally is. It's significantly better. We've then got an attack for 2 energy that does 120 if you played a supporter card this turn. And yeah, we've lost double colorless energy, but we've still got Welder, we've still got triple acceleration energy, we've still got Malamar, we've still got Tapu Koko Prism Star, any of which can be used. I think we're going to be all right. And then we've even got a usable GX attack here that is the same as Alolan Ninetales' GX attack. Instant KO on an Ultra Beast. I said that this was basically the newer, better Zoroark, and some people have completely scoffed at the idea that this is anywhere near as good as Zoroark. One person was incredibly rude, saying, if you really think this could be the new Zoroark, you're a complete idiot, although not that politely. And I'm like, well, it's a 210 HP GX that's weak to fighting, has an ability which is good for consistency, hits 120 for 2 colorless energy. I mean, in what way is it not like Zoroark? Except it's better than Zoroark because it's easier to hit 120 playing a supporter rather than having a full bench. It's got all of the memory cards, so you can hit multiple weaknesses rather than one which is basically irrelevant. And it's got a GX attack you can actually use, whereas Zoroark's never got used. So tell me again how this is nothing like Zoroark, or nowhere near as good as Zoroark. This card is over the top phenomenal. The other GX is Vileplume, and frankly, it is nowhere near as good. Here is the regular art version. Here's the alternate art full art version. And here is the Rainbow Rare. Now, you will notice here that all of these extra cards have the trainers on the artwork. That is very much the deal with Dream League as a set, that we're getting all of the human characters on the artwork. Vileplume as a card is alright. I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. As always, I've done videos about all of these cards. I'll link them in the description. So if you want to know more about any of the cards on this list, there will be a video in the description there to help you out. Vileplume's ability is really nice. Once during your turn, you may heal 30 from all of your Pokemon. Quite cool. And then for 1 grass, 1 colorless energy, you do 180 base minus 10 for every damage counter on the Pokemon. But honestly, between its ability, Life Forest Prism Star, the Shaman from Lost Thunder, that new Great Potion, which heals 30 from each of your, from your single active GX. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a whole bunch of options here that you should be able to completely heal at every turn. Yeah, it's got a fairly crippling weakness to stuff like Blacephalon and Reshiram and Charizard, and there's other things around like Ultra Necrozma that can get one-hit KOs anyway. Outside of that, pretty cool. And it wouldn't be a Pokemon set if we didn't have some full art supporters. There are 3 here. First one of which is End's Preparation. End's Preparation lets you discard the top 6 cards of your deck, and any basic energy you find there you may attach to one of your benched Dragon Pokemon. It is a really, really nice supporter card, which is phenomenal for getting your Dragon Pokemon rolling, and Dragon Pokemon have awkward attack costs. That's kind of cool. We're also getting a full art version of Lily's Resolve. Lily's Resolve is a really interesting supporter. Lily's Resolve lets you draw 4 cards, and if you've got 3 or more cards in your hand at the end of the turn, you return cards to the top of your deck until you only have 2 cards in hand. So you basically have to keep making sure you only have 2 cards in hand, or you're going to get rid of some. The flat draw 4 is amazing, no argument here, but it is kind of weird, and you've got to be playing this in a deck where you have the option to just get rid of cards from your hand, or just use it late game. Either way, I am loving it. And finally, we do have a lovely full art version of Rosa. Rosa is another one of these cards which is really good, but situational. So you can only use it if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. But then you get to search your deck for a Pokemon, Trainer, and Basic Energy, reveal them and put them into your hand. This is really good search, which is going to help you out beautifully, and it's a great card. I know you can only use it after a KO, but having said that, that was the deal with Diantha. And okay, it's a fairly niche card. You can only use it after a fairy Pokemon was KO'd. But if Diantha cease play and can only be used after a fairy Pokemon was KO'd, this is almost certainly going to see play because it can be used when anything is KO'd. I'll go along with that. Now, we do have some secret rares here as well. We have 3 of them. Firstly, we've actually got a card we've had for a while, Power Plant. Power Plant came out in Unbroken Bonds. This is the secret rare gold version of it. There are 2 stadiums at the moment, especially post-rotation, which jump out as the best stadiums, and they are Shrine of Punishment and Power Plant. Power Plant turns off the abilities of EX and GX Pokemon. I've already mentioned Silvally GX in this video. Don't forget that Dedenne is pretty gosh darn phenomenal, and honestly, there's like a million others. It is a great card that sees a huge amount of play in a wide variety of decks, and it will continue to do so. This is going to be a very expensive card. We've also got Lily's Pokédoll. Now, this one is the one which is, well, it's a reprint of Clefairy Doll from way back in the base set with one difference. And the difference is, when you get rid of it, it goes to the bottom of your deck rather than being discarded, which is way better. If it's discarded, you have to try and recover it, which is basically impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but you're looking at really hyper-specific things that can recover anything like Oranguru. It's really difficult to get it back. Whereas putting it on the bottom of your deck, yeah, that's way better. It's just a better Clefairy Doll. It's awesome. It's going to see a lot of play, especially in like hit and run style decks. It's going to be awesome. And then finally, Lana's Fishing Rod. Lana's Fishing Rod is a weird one. It allows you to grab yourself a Pokemon tool and a Pokemon from your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck. Now, it's not great as Pokemon recovery, and it's not great as tool recovery, but it's about the only tool recovery we have, and we don't have great Pokemon recovery, so it kind of does 2 things fairly badly, but they're 2 things where we don't have great alternatives, and it does them both at the same time, so I'm inclined to go, yeah, that's not too bad. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, those are all the secret rares from Dream League. Don't forget, please, to go and have a gander at the character rare video. I'll pop a link in the description. I'll make it the top link so it's easy to find. And once again, huge shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia over at Poké Guardian. It's a fairly new website. It's a really good website if you're into the Pokemon trading card game. So frankly, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not checking Poké Guardian regularly, why not fix it? For now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to know what you think about all these secret rares, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.